Hi guys, this is Reines El-Melloi and welcome back to FGO and today we're still continuing with Reines' case files and a short recap on what happened on the last recording. First off, remember that Mosh who was helping us? Apparently she's not the real person. Someone was impersonating Mosh and implanting memories into us, thinking that we're doing the right thing and whatnot. And man, I didn't actually think that I would accuse Mosh of being an imposter of all things. Man. And besides all that, Waver apparently is still alive, so he somehow faked his death in some form or fashion. Can't remember the way he did it, but in doing so, he was trying to solve things in the shadows, and now he revealed himself being alive. Yay! Waver. Never change, man. Never change. And of course, those people that also watched Case Files, the anime, you already know that Gray is a distant relative to Artorias, apparently. I'm not sure how that works. But, yeah, she is another saber face. And of course, she also has Rango Myriad, the Spear of the End. Man, I can't wait for another season for Case Files. I really hope they actually bring another season for that one at some point. Although there are other any other Fate series I want to have a remake, but this is probably up on my list for that thing to actually happen. Maybe, who knows? Maybe in the next couple years I might actually do that. But regardless, let us continue with this event. I also took a liberty of doing all the optional quests and did all those memories from the past events that we did before, or past singularities that we did before. There were like some that were event related, like Christmas and like the Princess Ilya event, where actually it wasn't Princess Ilya, it's more like a node. I had to do a the monster of fashion from the Princess Ilya event. So now we're going to do section 9, Mage Inference. And this one doesn't cost an AP, thank God, because I had to like do one free quest just to make sure to use some of my AP, because I don't really like having something capped while I'm doing like this since there's nothing happening yet. So might as well have it run in the background in the process. The Mage's Inference. Hello, Babbage. I see. That fits with my own theory as well. I analyzed this paper a bit, and it would indeed seem to have in fact El-Melloi II had described. I knew you'd come through, Steam King. Never underestimate a robot's power. A traffic analyst like this is hardly worth of praise. At any rate, this seems to have led us to the mastermind. But that will take more time. In the meantime, I invite you to wait here in my castle. Farewell if you must. Still, there is one thing I'd like to discuss before we go any further, and that is Astrea. Why would this mastermind need to implant Reines El-Melloi with false memories? To have us not interfere with their plans, maybe? Perhaps the paper she most intrigued can provide a clue. Did the memories you saw at the time focus on one person or thing in particular, Reines? Well, after thinking about it, the first one was mostly Da Vinci. What about you, El-Melloi? I don't suppose you have a theory or two you could share with us? Is something wrong? Sorry, it's a little odd hearing those words from that face. At any rate, yes, I do have one hypothesis. And are you going to tell us, or you're not in the habit of discussing your hypothesis like a detective might? I had no such compunctions. I am no detective. I'm a mage. Still, all I can say now is that I don't sense hostility from our opponent as much as I do pity. Huh? You mean they feel sorry for us? That is just an impression I get. But yes, of course, ill intent is hardly a requisite for causing harm. If anything, you can much more easily justify hurting others if you believe you're doing so for the right reason. I guess, because if you're doing things for the right reason, you might as well go all out on that, but man, I don't know. At any rate, I doubt it will be long before our enemy makes a move, so take this time to rest and recuperate. Alright. In that case, sir, let me comb your hair. Wait, god damn it, Gray. Huh? I mean, just look at how messy it is. Being a sir is no excuse for being sloppy. Oh, Gray. It's nice having things back to normal. You should have her polish your shoes while she's at it. Brother. Can't El-Melloi not say no to his people or something? I guess he managed to take care of himself in Chaldea then. Yeah, when my brother starts leaning on someone, he ends up relying on them for almost anything. Alright then. In the clock tower, he never gets anything done if it wasn't for Gray. Cut that out, Reines. Gray, let go of my arm. Wait, hang on. I just realized something else. And what's that? Huh? The whole reason we were summoned here is because my brother failed, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you know... El-Melloi failed on something? It's simple. He would never had to die unless he was in an extremely tight spot. Even if he did have a spirit origin to spare, separating the two in an incredibly difficult feat. He could well and truly have died if things had gone wrong. The fact that he went through with it anyway is just how he shows dire the circumstance were. Should dire these choices were between likely death and certain death. Well, brother, you're not wrong, but unlike other servants, those who were summoned to resolve this have a clear and obvious connection. Obvious connection? Me, Gray, Luvia, all of us have a deep ties to my brother. But while Gray could recently qualify as a servant, the same can't be said for Luvia or me. So it must have been Zunliang's noble phantasm that brought us here. I can see that being a possibility. Dispatch troops, Liang's young other EX ranked noble phantasm. It follows heroic legend to fight its targets while with the abilities they need to succeed. In this case, it must have given you and Luvia's spirit origin that could then be summoned to this singularity. Though it wouldn't have worked as well if humanity weren't currently in such a dire strait to begin with, or without this singularity's particular circumstances. So that's why Reines and Louis became pseudo-servants. So this is all Lang Xuan's doing, huh? That explains how Xiami and I ended up together. It's not because we have become a connection of our own. It was because of our current situation put us in the state that is close to my brother's own situation. That must have made it much easier to form the bond needed for the mage cap to work. It always makes perfect sense once you understand it that bit. Then that must have been why you thought you were El-Melloi II when you first got here. Because the memories of Waver. Right. I must have been forced into this position as a result of his noble phantasms pulling me in here. It definitely all adds up neatly. The fact that it all made use of existing connections made it easy to form a mystic. All that said, you got a lot of nerve dragging us over here just to clean up your mess, brother. I'm sorry. I never expected that you would be the one summoned here. That is so like you, brother. You usually hate relying on anyone else for anything. But you have no trouble asking for help once things really go south. Of course. I still take that over being a heartless fool who would refuse to do the same under similar circumstances. Yes, I very much would agree with that. Alright, putting all those pieces together tired my brain out. So I'm going to take a breather while we wait for Babbage to finish his analysis. You came here too, huh? Well, here, why don't you have a seat next to me then? It's a lovely view. You can see all the clockwork in the distance. ... I'm grateful to you, you know. Truth be told, if you hadn't been here, seeing my brother dead would have wrecked me. If I hadn't had to keep it together enough to do something to help my people, I'll probably still be standing there, staring at his body. At least until one of the automatas pick me up or something. I don't know what I've done without your help either. I'm so relieved that El-Melloi is alive. Same here. Ah, the blush. Well, you know... shit. It's so hard not to be honest around you. Maybe it's because I've never had a pupil before. Anyway, I think it... Maybe it's because I've never had a pupil before. Anyway, I think I'm pretty happy right now. Gray's here, my brother's still alive, and amazingly, I get a chance to talk to both of them again. Just don't tell my brother. I'm only saying this because you're my very first pupil. Alright, Reines, I'll keep this between us, but if Waver starts to, ask questions about all this, don't blame me if I have to mention it to him. Once this is all over, you, me, Gray, and my brother should all have tea together. I think that'll be worth breaking out my special stash for. Special stash? Stash? Ooh, what kind of tea you're talking about here? Granted, I was never really a tea person to begin with. Should I bring something sweet or something? Oh! If you think you can bring something that's even remotely compares to my specialty, then by all means, go right ahead. Anyway, I'm going to hang out here a little longer. You should head back before you catch a cold. Alright, Reines, you too. Don't stay too long out there. Oh, Reines-Leet. I take it you were just spending some time with Reines. Yep, we were having a small bonding moment. I know my adopted sister can be fairly ill-tempered, so I'm glad to see you're getting along so well with her. Well, granted, she's a little bit different compared to she was in the Case Files anime or the original source material, but yeah, she has like her good sides and bad sides, and of course her deviant side. But regardless, she's okay. Just don't be in her bad side, to be honest. She's definitely like to tease sometimes, but I can handle that. I see. I suppose you would have feel that way to get along with her. I knew you were a good master. Aw, thanks, Waver. While we're here, there's something else I need to tell you. What's this? There is no need for you to resolve the singularity. Wait, what? I thought Singularities needs to be resolved, so why are you telling me not to resolve this singularity? Sir? I'm glad you're here, Gray. You should hear this too. As I'm sure you already know, Master, whatever happens in the singularity eventually ends up never having happened at all. Okay. There are, of course, some singularities that could threaten humanity if they take a turn for the worse. But that's not the case with this one. It's bound to go away on its own time. There is no way a singularity that has to consume memories. A ultimately self-destructive process of the state itself couldn't last for very long after all. Once you have established connection with Chaldea and are able to return home, there won't be any reason for you to stay and continue fighting here. Okay, so you're saying that I don't need to fix it, but there has to be some other problem that's lurking here that needs to be solved. So maybe I could. Thanks, motorcycle. So maybe I would just stick around a little bit longer, just to be sure, because I'm just thinking about the back of my mind, like if I leave this place right afterwards and like something does happen, I won't be here to fix it. Just put it down like a video game. You're all Just put it down like a video game you'll grow tired of, and you'll need to be in any danger. Aren't you really a completionist, Raver? Of course! I always try to complete whatever I start, and I follow up by sending detailed feedbacks to the developer. Ah, Waver. I really like that. It's like, granted, I never really sent any feedbacks to the game developer, except for Final Fantasy XIV, because I was part of the beta tester before AR Realm Reborn first came out. So I really wish I was more connected to the game developer, so I can give them my personal feedback on if the game is good in its condition, you need to change something, or any of that in that fashion. By the way, add 2 when you call my name. My mentor name alone isn't a little rich for my blood. Anyway, I guess I didn't need to tell you that after all. If you are that determined to see this through, some people might call you reckless or even foolish, but I think it's actually one of your strengths. And as your servant, I swear to do all I can to assist. Ah, thanks, Waver. I do too. Pupil! Brother! Reines? What is it, Reines? You're here too, Gray. Good! Come on, there's something you all need to see. Okay. What is that? Ugh! How can I have never been mistaken? That's the clock tower! Wait. Of course! Something must have been interfering with our perception. If the clock tower were still around, there's no way they would ignore a huge case like this. That's not the clock tower at all. That's... Nope, it's Rongo Media, but the darker version. Rongo Media. Okay then. And we got section 10, the False Sacred Lands. A fake Rongo Media? That is somehow identical to the real one in every but scale. Huh. I also confirmed a vast amount of automata and ghosts being discharged from its interior. So where are they coming from? Aren't they trying to conquer the singularity from themselves? Whoever is behind this must have given up on trying to handle this quality. Now that El-Melloi has been revealed, their true intentions regarding those slip of paper. Well, it would be the first time you pissed someone off by casually opposing their secrets, wouldn't it? May I remind you that I only did so because it was an emergency. I would just as soon as remain hidden longer if I would have, or could have. At any rate, approximately 80% of them appears to be making their way towards this particular patchwork. I imagine they want to capture Reines El-Melloi. My, whoever is buying this must really care for you. I'm counting on my blessings. You seem happy about this. Well, of course, there's no room for judgment without strong feelings at play. On the upside, we need to know where our enemy's hideout is, as I highly doubt it could be anywhere else besides the insides of that lance. Thanks to our perceptions being altered, it never even occurred to us that that building could be anything but the clock tower. But now that it's sending out soldiers, the woe they were pulling over our eyes no longer does the trick. At least we can't take heart in the fact that resorting to these double-edged measures is a sign that we got our opponents on the ropes. So how do you plan to respond to this, Steam King? I suppose the easy way to make certain your kingdom remains peaceful will be sending out Reines El-Melloi. No need to try to manipulate the tactician. If I meant to take the easy way out, I would never have thought to collect the papers in the first place. You have to forgive my brother. He is incapable of considering anything but the worst case scenario. So I see. At any rate, I have finished analyzing the paper, thanks to Tyrannium. Not at all, Master. Order me to help. I found a name that appears to have close ties to our mastermind in the files we reviewed. It seems they were part of an organization called Chaldea. Hopefully it's not our Chaldea. I knew it! We're up against someone from Chaldea? They could have never have impersonated Mash otherwise. At the same time, the fact that they did so means they must have also betrayed Chaldea in some form. Indeed. The next name I managed to track is Atomic Authorization Existence Verification System. Memories. Memories? The goddess of memory? So there was a reason why that name was written on the scraps of paper. The conceptual designs behind Chaldea's system are entirely different from my own, so I have yet to fully understand their inner workings. I might be able to make more progress on this if I had more time, but for now, this is the best I can do. Regardless, the solution here couldn't be simpler. With all the servants we have got here, we should go pay this mastermind a visit and give them a good stocking in the jaw. Am I wrong, Lady Justice? I'm pretty sure she will oblige on that. Given the fact that the mastermind was playing her strings too. I suppose not. Alright, I'll help you. I expect this is why I was summoned here in the first place. But I should warn you, I doubt even my power will be able to crack that spear outer shell. That said, as long as we make our way inside, I don't think I can be useful. So, how do we get in? That's indeed the question. A stress power alone really won't be able to cut a swath through the sheer number of foes that guards the front entrance. Oh? I think I might be able to make a way for us. But the thing is, she has to, stand still, charge up her lance, and eventually pave the way for everyone else to storm the entrance, I'm thinking. Yes? What is it? I don't have enough magical energy. Ed and I alone won't be able to make it through the inside. I see. Well, that's easy enough to fix. There are countless sources of magical energy scattered throughout the patchwork London, waiting to be collected. Here's a simple question for you, Master. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? You mean the paper scraps? Correct! Unlike the measure papers, the scraps don't seem though to try to fabricate any false memories. Still, we can't be completely sure about that, so we need a mystic code to account for that possibility. Can we ask your help with that, Steam King? I should be able to make something like that right away. I already been using those scraps on my own sources of energy after all. That said, one will never know what sort of trouble one might run into, so I'll help you collect them as much as I can. Then it is settled. Before the Automaton and Ghost Army have a chance to attack us, we're going to collect as many scraps as we can, as fast as we can. Hear, hear.